This is the boat and that's the person. What in the world?
So for today's topic, we have what could have very easily been a horrific tragedy at sea, thankfully turned into a miracle at sea, after a child that was sailing on a cruise ship owned by what is considered to be not only the happiest cruise line on earth, but also the safest for children on earth, that of which being a Disney cruise line. Now, after the child went overboard, the father quickly jumped into action and also went overboard, followed thankfully by the crew in a very quick and successful rescue effort. So things did work out. However, in today's video, yes, I will show you a couple video clips of the incident and rescue, as well as go over a couple details and a reminder and potential lesson to all of you, especially the parents out there, that things can happen literally at the blink of an eye or the snap of a finger.
Supposedly somebody fell off the boat, so if you see, like, everybody's rushing to go all the way to the top floor to see what's going on. Oh, look at this. If you see, there is a little boat out, and supposedly the person is right in front, like that black dot, that's right there. This is the boat and that's the person. What in the world?
Look, they're pulling them out right now.
Yeah, but
I think they got the person, guys.
Some crazy stuff.
this is probably gonna be on.
You're recording, babe?
Is that a little kid?
Yeah, you see the person holding on the lap?
Yes.
You see the little kid on the lap?
Yes. That is a little kid. A little girl, I think. That's insane.
That's a high drop.
Successfully retrieved, saved from the water, and everyone is being brought back to safety. We will continue with regular cruising with our voyage, and I hope that again everyone stays safe and will continue to enjoy this beautiful day at sea.
So first of all, shout out to the crew on this particular Disney cruise ship for their amazing, speedy, and successful rescue efforts, because what some of you may or may not know, typically when these types of situations, the man overboards happen on board cruise ships, it can go from bad to tragedy in a matter of seconds. And usually in the best case of scenarios, there's going to be some Coast Guard involved or some other outside sources aiding in the rescue, and it could take anywhere from an hour, 2 hours, sometimes even days before there is a successful rescue effort, and a lot of the times, unfortunately, the efforts aren't so successful. However, with this Disney crew, they got this entire operation done alone with the rescue efforts of the crew on board this particular Disney cruise ship, from what I've been hearing, in a matter of 20 to 30 minutes. Now, the ship or vessel that this incident took place on was the Disney Dream, initially built back in the year 2011. That's actually when I graduated from high school. It was 4,000 passengers at full capacity and cost a whopping $900 million to build. As far as the particular sailing this man overboard took place on, it was completing a 4-night sailing out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, between the dates of June 26th through today, June 30th. The incident took place yesterday on June 29th during a sea day. The day prior, they were visiting Disney's private island, Lighthouse Point, and during this beautiful, or what should have been a beautiful sea day, this child somehow went overboard. Now, naturally, as you could imagine, everyone is wondering, myself included, how in the heck did a child go overboard on a cruise ship, let alone a Disney cruise ship that is presumably and potentially one of the safest styles of cruise ships out there? They got plexiglass all over the place, and they have extra security and cameras making sure everything is as safe as possible, because the cruise line is designed for, of course, family and kids. Well, according to sources, apparently the kid went overboard on deck 4. Down there, of course, they have the running track, and I would imagine there probably is somewhere for a child to, I guess, essentially slip through the cracks and go overboard. However, I do want to make it clear during this video, we don't know exactly how the child went overboard, and I'm not blaming anyone, because naturally people are wondering, where were the parents? Where was the dad in this situation that would eventually and inevitably jump overboard after the child? Apparently the dad was nearby, but again, you know, in these types of situations, when it comes to children, this is why we always say you should watch your children closely, regardless of where you are, even if you're on a cruise ship with cameras and security and hundreds, if not thousands of people nearby, because things can happen very, very quickly. So the dad dad did spring into action right after the child went overboard and jumped in immediately. And thankfully, between the crew acting so fast, I believe their code on board their Disney ships is Mr. MOB, which is a old man overboard, or Mr. Man overboard. Usually other cruise lines, they have like code Oscar. There's all these different codes that they may use. Then followed up by, of course, you have a lot of onlookers and bystanders, which are very, very useful tools. Not to call people tools, but you get the idea, and pointing out potentially where those people that have gone overboard are so they can be located, and then they drop the boat. And with the boat finding out exactly where those people that have gone overboard are, find them, locate them, rescue them, and bring them back on board safe and sound. And this is exactly what happened with the Disney Dream, thankfully. Now, as far as these statistics, as I always say in this video, these type of situations, man overboards, are not common, nor are they uncommon. They typically happen roughly around 24 to 26 times per year, so you think globally, 1 to 2 times per month, and it's never really with any particular cruise line. We do hear a lot of course, your Carnivals, your Royal Caribbeans, all the stuff that takes place with the ships operating within the United States. But again, keep in mind, this stuff does go on globally, and typically around this season, when you get to your springs and your summer times, I do always tell all of you, whether you are parents or not, be careful on these cruise ships, because yes, the cruise lines do go out of their way to ensure the safety among all of the guests and crew on board, and they do a very good job at it. That's something I would never try to discredit. You do have to understand that yes, a lot of us are still adults, so you have to be proactive for yourself and of course for your children. Make sure you know where they are at all times, because yes, even though we are on vacation, we still live in the real world. Anyway, that's what we have for today's video. Hope you find folk got some type of value or information out of all of this. I am obviously not going to try to play some type of blame game in this video. The cruise lines did what they needed to do. The dad even jumped after the child, and as a parent myself, I can tell you, I have no idea how many times when my son was younger where I'd see him one minute and the next minute he was somewhere else, not too far away. But again, that's why I remind all of you to be as proactive, because we are humans. We are not perfect, but especially on a cruise, look out for your kids, make sure you know where they are at all times, and that is essentially the lesson for today. And thankfully, all of this worked out in, of course, the best possible scenario that could have existed. But this is what I got, guys. Of course, hit that like button on your way out. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe if you have not already. Know, as usual, of course, I love and appreciate every single one of you. I'll see you later. Take it easy.